Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hope and here are my notes. So today we are going to be talking about Chris Hansen's live interviews. Not necessarily the survivors, but his interviews in particular. Now, just a disclaimer, these are all my opinions. These are just things that I've been thinking about for the last couple of days after watching Chris Hansen's live videos, last interviews, and his interview technique over the last few weeks. Yeah. This is a lot because I'm getting really annoyed with some of the stuff that's been going on, and I'm starting to think that Chris Hansen is now starting to hurt investigations as opposed to helping. Now, I think that it's an amazing place. It's a great place for survivors to take part in conversation, to talk about things so that other people, other victims that may have been involved can feel safe to come forward. However, there is a sense of self-gratitude when it comes to Chris Hansen's videos, especially as of late. And that's something I want to talk about because I just keep wondering, is Chris Hansen actually doing that much? Like, is he doing that much to actually help? When you have people like Repzilla and Pastel Bell as well, she's amazing, and they've been doing really in-depth and really compassionate interviews with these survivors, and I feel so much more when they're doing their interviews and I'm watching them, because I feel like it's someone who really cares about them. And I'm not saying that Chris Hansen doesn't care, but it's really starting to look like all he wants is he wants views, he wants people to be watching his channel. He's been doing some obscene things. He has been promoting anything and everything that he can get his hands on. Some things are completely illegal scams. I'll leave some links below for videos that you can go and watch regarding those things. But I really am wondering, like, what is going on? Like, what is going on with Chris Hansen? So we're going to talk about that. So settle down, grab a drink, and let's get into this. So last night I was watching the live stream and I was staying in the comments. I wasn't really taking much notice of the interview, as it were, but I was in the comments and I was looking around and seeing what was going on. Sorry, this tree, I might have to move it, but it's so pretty and the flowers are coming out too. Okay, I'm getting distracted. So I was in the comments of the live chat last night, and the first thing I noticed before the interview even started, that comments are being deleted, and that's usual, like that's normal. You have moderators for a reason. The moderators are there to make sure that there's no bullying happening, that terms of service aren't being broken, blah 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 blah. But the comments that were being deleted, they were of people with great intentions, with really positive intentions, who were just discussing, talking about, having a conversation about other YouTubers like Repzilla, Pastel Bell, Creepshow Art, things like that. They were just talking normally, like a normal conversation, and those comments were being deleted. Any comments with another YouTuber's name was being deleted, which I didn't understand. I even asked, why are these comments being deleted when it's a positive thing? Like, surely the more people that are talking about these victims and these survivors, the better it is for the case. You want people on YouTube to be talking, especially people like Pastel Bell and Repzilla, who are younger, who have a younger audience, who may be in that circle of Derby Vanity, Blood on the Dance Floor, and wanting to talk about that with someone more their own age. Why aren't we allowed to contribute to this, these accusations? Why can't we have a voice? Especially on YouTube. Like, YouTube is a community, and the reason I wanted to start joining in and making videos is because I do have really strong opinions, and sometimes it's easy for your comments to get lost in the comment section, especially if there's so many people there. But I really don't understand why these moderators were deleting these comments when there was no bullying, there was no harassment, not even any swearing. It was literally just their names and saying like, you know, these guys have done some really good coverage, these guys have done some really good coverage, you guys should go and watch this because it's really good, it's helping with the investigation. And they were being deleted. Why? Because maybe they don't want Chris Hansen to lose viewers and in turn losing profit. Losing profit sends me on to my next thing, which was really bothering me, which is the amount of donations being sent through to Chris Hansen. Now, super chats are regular on YouTube and it helps people get their opinion out, and it helps the people who are making videos, if you're on a live stream, to be able to respond because your comment doesn't get lost in the mix, which is great. However, with these interviews, obviously no one's reading the super chats, so the super chats are just literally donations going to Chris Hansen. All of this money is going to Chris Hansen. So there's a couple of people in the chat saying the money doesn't go to the victims, the money goes to Chris Hansen, and then they're getting deleted. Those comments are being deleted as well. Why do you want to hide that? He did mention at the end of his live stream that he was thinking about doing something to help victims get money and to set up some kind of donation system. But what I don't understand is what is the problem with a comment, for example, sending, like, these people aren't just sending $5, $10. These people are sending like $100. Not in the live chat that I've seen, but in past chats. And they're sending like $100 and they're putting comments next to it saying, this is for the victims. That money's not going to the victims. That money will never go to the victims. That money is for Chris Hansen. You're watching Chris Hansen. You're watching Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. You're watching him. So that money is not going to the victims. And the comments are being deleted for that, and that's ridiculous. And I just don't understand why in this day and age where you have PayPal, GoFundMes, Venmo, I think that's another one, I don't really know much about that one, but you have so many ways of sending money over the internet, online, bank transfers, especially if Chris Hansen is working so closely with these people, like he always says. He's working closely with the FBI, he's working closely with the police, he's working closely with the victims. If he's working that closely with them, then surely if someone sends a super chat and it's $100 and it's saying this is for the victims, then surely you can send it to the victims, especially when you're doing a live chat. Because, for example, if you send $50 and there's 2 people being interviewed, send 25 each way. If that's what these people are asking for, why is it so hard to send money to people, especially online? It shouldn't be that difficult. I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I don't think it's that hard to send money, especially if it has a message saying this is for the victims. And Hansen's always saying how closely he's working with these people. Also, something else that I noticed that really made me angry when I was watching the live stream yesterday, it made me really, really angry. Like, I was kind of biting my tongue because I could have gone off. I have a huge respect for the LGBT community. I am part of the LGBT community. Another video, we'll get into that one day. But like I try and pick my battles wisely, and I don't get into too much of the drama and stuff like that, and arguments revolving misgendering, transgender. I will learn as much as I can learn. I've watched so many incredible people on YouTube who have gone through a transition, and I love learning about it, and I love hearing people's stories about how they're coming out, and it's amazing. Anyway, I have a huge thing about people misgendering and using the wrong pronouns for people, especially when it's been put out there so many times. It's a word. A pronoun is just a word, so that when you're talking about someone, it gives it meaning. You know who you're talking about. And Damien, who was interviewed a few weeks back, go by the pronouns they, them. And there was a group in the chat, and I'm not gonna like put names out there, but there was a group in the chat that was misgendering, using wrong pronouns, and then, I mean, mistakes happen and people were being corrected, and even the mods were correcting people, but it got to the point where it then started to become like homophobic, transphobic. A lot of people were talking really badly about people who are transgender, not necessarily Damien or what they're going through. It is difficult, even then, it's like a little slip up, it's difficult to use those pronouns, especially if you're not used to. But if someone's told you and you're typing and you're not having a conversation, there's no excuse to misgender somebody and use the wrong pronouns. And also what really got to me was there was so much transphobia going on in the chat, and there was so much like people going off about non-binary, and it was disgusting. It was horrible to watch. And when you're seeing the mods take away comments about YouTubers who are putting positive outlooks out there and are helping with the victims and helping with the case, and they are doing things that are positive, and those comments get deleted, yet comments about misgendering and not using the right pronouns, nothing was deleted. And there was some disgusting things I saw in that chat. And I'm just like, why would you allow that to happen, but delete comments about things that are helping? Why would you do that? That really got to me. And it's making me really angry. I actually stayed up until 7 a.m. Spanish time to watch Creepshow Art's video because she was going live, and I did actually message her on Twitter because she wasn't joining a live chat. So I messaged her on Twitter and told her about this, and she shared it. And then when she was going live, I knew that that's what she was going to talk about. So I stayed up till 6 a.m. for when she went live. I fell asleep halfway through at 7 a.m. And I rewatched it all this morning. And she has really deep concerns and opinions about this as well, because it's people's lives, and it's these victims. They are people. They have lives. They're not just a story. It's not a tabloid. And YouTube's a very personal place, and I don't think Chris Hansen understands that. I don't think he realizes it. You know, I feel as if he has, 5 questions, 6 questions that he uses every single time, and it's a template for him. Nothing feels organic. It doesn't feel comforting. It doesn't feel compassionate. It just feels like a reporter doing his job. A reporter, a journalist, and I mean, not a great one at that. I mean, he doesn't research products that he promotes. He doesn't do research to help the girls and the victims. He's just not, I don't think he's helping. He's just someone to talk to, which is great, but there's other people who are amazing to talk to as well. Like I said, Repzilla and Pastel Bell, Creepshow Art, these people who you can talk to, and you can be assured that you can trust them. You can't trust Chris Hansen. I mean, for instance, we all know what happened with Sarah and the laptop, with the Onision case. These people are putting their trust in Chris Hansen, and he can't back that up. He's not in law enforcement. He's not a lawyer. He's not a police officer. He's not in the FBI. Yes, he might have connections, but you can talk to the FBI or the police yourselves. And I think that these girls and these victims need to go and talk to the authorities instead of blowing off to Chris Hansen, especially Chris Hansen, because I don't think he's actually helping. They're putting their trust in someone, and they're putting their trust in someone, and I don't feel like it's being reciprocated at all. I mean, if hypothetically, if I was to go and tell a newspaper a story of mine of abuse, of assault, and then they asked me for evidence, I wouldn't give them evidence. I wouldn't give a magazine or a newspaper or, you know, BuzzFeed some evidence. Do you know what I mean? So why would evidence go to Chris Hansen? He's putting false trust and false hope into these people. And it's disgusting and it makes me so mad. And I know it's none of my business, but we should be focusing on the survivors and the victims, and we should be focusing on the case. And I don't feel like Chris Hansen is doing that. He's now coming out with merch. And yes, he says the proceeds of the merch is going to go to help with COVID-19 and things like that. But a portion of that merch money will go into his pocket. I know how charities work. I've worked with so many people for free. And my boyfriend, being an entertainer, has been working for so many people for free over the years, and the people in charge of charities, they get something out of it. You know, they'll have so many people doing stuff for them for the greater good and for charity, but something will come out of that COVID-19 charity fund from the merch, and it will go into Chris Hansen's pocket, just like the super chats. And it's just, it's so frustrating to watch, because people look up to him because he was on a TV show and because he's older, and people who are younger, especially people like Creepshow Art, she has an opinion, but she gets kicked down all the time because she's younger. People don't have faith in younger people, and it's really ridiculous, because you get told for years children are the future, and then when it comes around, you know, they don't want to hear it anymore. We have a voice. And I feel like the YouTube community, apart from Chris Hansen, is doing a lot more to help these survivors. And that's just my opinion. Like I said, everything here is my opinion. It's what I've got from things. And like an amazing drag queen once said, Miss Trixie Mattel, perception is reality. It doesn't matter your intentions. It doesn't matter what you meant by something. If it comes across a way, that's reality. And the way Chris Hansen is being perceived right now is not good. And instead of sitting on a high horse because of the good old days in the past, that's not good enough. He needs to be held accountable for the way he's coming across to people. Yeah, so that's all I have to say on the matter. I'm going to get going. I'm so tired. I'm in my PJs because I'm so tired. Yeah, I'm going to get going, and I just want to say I'm really sorry for misgendering Damien in this video. I really didn't do it. It was just a slip of the tongue. I'm so sorry. I'd never want to be one of those people. And I just really hope that something gets done soon, because a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and God damn it, we need to be heard, because you can't follow things blindly. You have to have something. You have to think for yourself, and stand up for what you believe in, and say what you mean. So when people come back and get on your ass for it, you can stand by it. Stand by your opinion, because you matter. Everyone matters, and everyone can have their opinion. But if things are going wrong, people need to be held accountable for them. I know that Shannon from Creepshow Art is working with someone who's been in contact with Chris Hansen about the mods. I think that's amazing. I'll put a link down to her live that she did last night. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please like this video if you did, and leave your opinions down below. I would love to have a chat with you guys and talk about some opinions. And before I forget, because I nearly did forget, I have a Twitter now. I took the leap into the Twitter world. It's really strange over there. I've never had Twitter before, so I do have a Twitter now. You can find me Hope's Notes at notes_hope. And I will see you guys soon. Bad intro. Bad intro? No. It's my bad outro. Let me try that again. Bad outro.